Premiership highlights for the Premiership final. We are here today at a beautifully sunny Bridge Hall as we recap all the action from today's final. Now, Stirling is famed for its history of battles, and today is going to be no different as Stirling County and Cougars face it out for the Championship title. Before the game kicked off, we caught up with head coaches Eric Jones and Mark Ainsworth. Eric, we are here. It is now the day of the final. What are your final thoughts going into the game?
Yeah, I think we've just tried to keep everything as normal as we can for the players. We had a good team meeting last night, so there's not really much for us to say to them. They're just going to go out and get on with what they're planning to do. So yeah, it's over to them now, really.
So Mark, we're here. It is the day of the final, and it's a gorgeous day at Bridge Hall. Any last thoughts before the game kicks off?
Well, as you say, it's a perfect day for a game of rugby. Expect an entertaining game. Surface is good for January, sun's out, so may the best team win, I'd say. If you can't play rugby on a day like this, then you possibly shouldn't be here. But I'm sure both teams will be really up for it, so it's going to be a good game.
Now let's get ready for the action. Your commentary team today are Stuart, McFarlane and Kaeli King.
There is a look at the Stirling County side in full with
Captain Ailsa Luke at one, yeah.
She's captaining the side, Heather Davis at 7. Of course, two sisters in the form of the Ainsworths are going to play their part at 8 and at 10. And Nicole Flynn will be looking to show her speed and her skills on that right wing. Faye Key's a responsibility for her at fullback as well. But a real mix of youth and experience in that Stirling County side. And of course, with home advantage and the majority of the crowd coming out in force. But Corstorphine have got themselves a good quality side. Here's Emma Turner captaining in the side at number 8. Ailsa Clark at outside centre along with Morgan Welsh. And Adele Ferry and Lucy Kidd are going to have a busy role, you'd imagine, in that engine room with the selection of forwards, including Pip Benson and Lily Glendenning just behind Emma Turner captaining the side at number 8. Yeah, Corstorphine then will play in their traditional quarter jerseys with the navy and the red and the white numbers on the back, and led out there by their captain Emma Turner and of course her sister Zoe. And a big roar as Luke and Stirling County are led onto the field of play, and you can hear the noise just in the background. The full squad coming on, including Megan Kennedy, who's the player with the blank jersey in the back. No number for Megan Kennedy, but effectively playing as 16. And we mentioned the coaches can only do so much. I suppose when you've got somebody like Megan on the bench, she will at least try and influence things as and when she gets on the park.
Absolutely. The noise here is absolutely deafening. The enthusiasm is very real, and here we go. The squads are taking up their respective places on the pitch.
This is the third scrummage put in for Corstorphine, closest towards the try line. Zoe Turner received her instructions behind the scrum, Nia Griffiths, and then the midfield just along 12, 13, 15 and 11 all poised and ready to try and pick and go. Force backwards. Now they bring the fly half into play. Griffith, of course, on that right hand side. Is able to pick up and gather and across the line. Lorna Young positioning herself very well indeed. The ball worked its way out towards the 39-year-old, originally from Port Gordon. And she was in for a try, and that's a well-executed score there from Corstorphine, making the skill set in that set piece pay with that well-executed score from the winger across on that far side.
Looks like Tanya Griffith just holding on to that ball just long enough, distributing to number 14, Lorna Young. And Lorna Young touching it down. Oh, there's a ball loose.
Again looking to try and pick and gather, which they've done, so just along their own 5 metre line. Ainsworth, the fly half, was under a little bit of pressure there, but was able to offload. Good ball for Stirling County. And again, the referee penalising Stirling this time, taking the ball into contact, unable to release and they get back to their feet. And Corstorphine, it'll be interesting to see what they opt to go for here. 5-0 in front. Kickable penalty goal here, and the referee, by the looks of it, is signalling that Corstorphine will indeed go for the 3 points and a pop at the post. Jigawa then readying herself, and she comes into the 22. Ball on the tee. That's a clean strike.
And it's good.
On it.
Adding 3 points for the Cougars, bringing that score to 0 Stirling, 8 for the Corstorphine Cougars.
Come back for the penalty. The tap now through the hands of the fly half. An opportunity here immediately for the replacement.
Taken by Rachel Cox. And it's a score. Well done, Rachel Cox.
Marvellous score there for Stirling County and for Cox. And we'll see this again in the replay. A really strong hand to ground the ball. And it was all so important from a Stirling County point of view that she did not lose control of the ball, because she had it one-handed and grounded it perfectly. So the conversion attempt to bring it to within a point, and you have to say that in the balance of the last 2 or 3 minutes, that's exactly what Stirling deserve.
Absolutely. The enthusiasm here is stunning. It's deafening.
Tackle.
Back it comes once again. Ainsworth once more outside towards Shanklin. Shanklin still on the left-hand side. Stirling County trying to gain some ground up towards the edge of the 22. They recycle again. Taken on then by Ainsworth. The fly half into the 22.
Tackle. Take a step.
Hutton readies herself. Again is able to bring Murphy into play. Murphy's grounded inside the 22. Solid challenges coming in, but a test of this Corstorphine defence. Back towards McRae. McRae in the angle.
It's a break with number 14, Stirling. Nicole Flynn looking to move it as close to the post as possible. That is a try, number 14, Nicole Flynn, Stirling County.
Excellent try there from Nicole Flynn. And we've seen both right wingers, both 14 scoring tries in this first half. And that's an excellent move, well orchestrated there. Stirling County in full flow, the crowd loving it, and County find themselves in front with the conversion to come. That was an excellent piece of play across the park. And Nicole Flynn just showing her skill set there with a wonderful score.
A really great show from Corstorphine Cougars defence, but unfortunately just couldn't hold off Stirling County, who again are playing that phase play.
Corstorphine not rolling away. Another Stirling County player is stripped and ready to come on the park. And again, Stirling have done enough to get across the line. Sheer power driving them across inside the opening 2 minutes of the second half, and making a very lively second half count with a wonderful score. And it's Hotwood wearing 16 is the try scorer. The third try for Stirling County. One of the replacement front row forwards on for the try. And we'll get to see this again, that the power of Hotwood is particularly impressive here. Cox into the 22. Hutton once more. Has a little look for Ainsworth. Ainsworth readies herself. That will sidestep. Ainsworth then backing herself on then towards the reinforcements coming in, and it's an excellent try there from Sutcliffe, who started it all with the throw in at the line out. A fourth try for Stirling County, and even at this stage in the final, could that be decisive? 20 points to 8 with the kick to come, and that all after a well executed line out. Good phase play involving the likes of Megan Kennedy and Hotwood as well. 2 replacement forwards coming on, and it eventually worked its way out. You can see positioning herself well. Excellent work from the fly half there, Ainsworth, on towards the hooker, and another excellent score.
That score felt a bit inevitable from Stirling. They have very much had Cougars on the back foot. We haven't left that 50 in the last 5 minutes or so.
It's all about a side when they've got a bit of dominance in terms of territory. You want to really make it count, and Stirling have certainly done so with the try, and the conversion is good. So that's the first successful points from the tee in this final, and it's 20 points to 8, the scoreline now. Back in October it was 20-27 to Cougars. It will require a mighty comeback from the Cougars to turn this around. This will rank as a great moment in Stirling County's history for sure.
Good work, stay there.
And taking on McRae of Stirling County. Oh, there's a 2-1 situation opening up here. This could be the icing on the cake for Stirling. And Nicole Flynn's in for a second try of the game. And the 17-year-old, the youngest player in the team, having previously played at scrum half, has adopted so well in the right wing. And it's a second try of the game. That's surely sealed victory for Stirling County, who lead by 27 points to 8 with the kick to come. And it's a wonderful way to cap a fine afternoon for the home side.
That was a phenomenal display. I think what we have here is it is really cohesive work between the forwards and the backs. And again, the wing just taking it on, touching it down in the corner. Phenomenal gameplay from Stirling there.
Along
It's a lovely loop.
That's time,
that 10 and in towards just beyond that 10-metre line. Stop, stand and check. I think the referee has signalled it's all over. And it is Hutton that plays the ball into touch. And on come the replacement players, those substituted. And it's all a case of embracing one another. Megan Kennedy almost disappears in hugs.
And it is
surrounded
full
by
time.
5 or 6 players. The referee has blown for the end of the match. And Stirling County have won a famous victory in winning this championship final by 27 points to 8 and are crowned Scottish champions. And all credit to them, having defeated Heriots in a playoff semi-final a week ago, earning home advantage after finishing the regulation season top of the pile. They've done just that bit more this afternoon to defeat Corstorphine, and it's congratulations to them. And Kaeli King, what an atmosphere inside Bridgehoff today.
I can't even hear myself think, Stuart. Stirling fans are absolutely going wild. There's some very happy tears here.
Corstorphine, I think, will be the first of the players will come across, and it will be Emma Turner who will be the first to receive her runners-up medal.
And Emma Turner, as you mentioned, is playing in the Thistles, and she was on Scottish Rugby podcast recently speaking with Katie Lindsay, opposition's number 3, who also is in the Scottish Thistles. So it'll be interesting because just this week they'll go from being competitors to teammates.
And Ilse comes across now. Ilse Luke, who picked up an injury in the first half, made her way onto the replacement's bench, watched on for much of the second half, and then came on towards the end, calling her players across, standing by the trophy, and lifts it to the air. The lid goes flying, the champagne corks are burst open, they spray the players with champagne, they won't care, no damage is done to the lid. And this is a special moment for Stirling County as a rugby club, but particularly for these women who are Tennent's women's champions for season 2022-23.
Emma, listen, commiserations. I know that today wasn't the result that you were wanting, but how proud are you of the team and what they've achieved to get to this final?
Insanely proud. Listen, that's just our 3rd loss this season. Like, we've had a cracking season, we deserve to be here, and Stirling just showed up on the day and we didn't. We had a good first half and they brought it in the second half. Game of 2 halves, and it is what it is, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, that first half was incredible. You really came out of the blocks and it was so tight. So again, just reflecting on how close that was, is that what you expected?
Yeah, it's always a really, really tough contest, and you know, we came out firing, and then in the second half we maybe let them get in, and then our heads dropped a little bit, and that's how you do a downward spiral. But listen, we played to the very end, we gave absolutely everything, we had our hearts and souls into that, so that's all I can ask of my girls.
And now you've obviously got the Sarah Beanie Cup round the corner, so again, how much confidence does this give you guys to go into that next phase of competition?
Considering we've made one final, we're ready to make the second final. So yeah, we're not going to stop, we're going to keep battering away, and I'm really excited for our cup run.
Ilse, listen, congratulations. You've just led your team to their first ever Premiership title. How are you feeling?
I struggle to put it into words. It's amazing, it's a dream. All the hard work kind of did end up cultivating in this game, and like, yeah, I mean, for all of us in Hull. We've never been here before, we've never been in a final, and to win it is just, I don't think it gets better than this in terms of rugby, for me personally.
Obviously the first half was like really tight and you couldn't really call it, but it seemed to be that in the second half you guys just came out the blocks and you really kind of found your form. So what was that half-time talk like for you guys to galvanise that winning performance?
Yeah, I think firstly, I want to say congrats to Cougars. I think they came out and put us under a lot of pressure and a lot of force, and they've been an excellent off season. I think coming in at half-time, we knew we weren't good enough. We dropped a lot of balls and it just was, I think, nerves, and we just said, you know what, play the way we can play. We've worked so hard on our fitness. Second half, it's all about effort, work harder, be better, and we can win this, and that's what we did.
And obviously next up is going to be the Sarah Beanie Cup. So are you ready for that competition? And again, how much confidence can you now take into that next phase of competition?
Yeah, next up's Sarah Beanie Cup. We have 5 in the Celtic Cup, so we're going to be supporting them because next game's next week. So rooting for them, and then going into that, we're very confident with our ability. It's just trying to we have an extended squad because obviously we could only pick 20, but we have more players that train and work hard and push everyone. So it's going to be good to have bigger squads, 23, to get more players in, more game time, and just, we'll see. Knockout rugby, game at a time. That's all we're focused on next game.
So there we have it. Stirling County are the new Tennent's Women's Premiership champions. Congratulations to them on winning their first ever title, and of course commiserations to Corstorphine Cougars. A really well thought out game. That is everything for the 2022-23 season, and we hope that you'll join us next year for more of the action.